All right. Let's explore the mind. Today, today's deep dive
Mind.
is about the 3 levels of awareness.
Levels of awareness.
Yeah. So it's about how our minds work.
Our minds.
And we're going to be using this excerpt from That's Life 24/7.
That's life.
And they use this cool iceberg analogy to explain it. I'm intrigued.
It's a classic analogy.
Yeah.
It's a powerful visualization. You know, it's been around for ages.
I can see why.
The tip of the iceberg, you know, is your conscious mind. The part you're aware of right now.
Uh-huh.
But then beneath the surface, that's where things get interesting.
Okay, so I'm picturing this iceberg, right? What exactly is going on in the depths? Let's start with the unconscious mind.
Yeah. The unconscious mind, think of it as this vast reservoir of thoughts and memories and desires. Stuff that's been pushed out of your conscious awareness.
Sort of awareness. Okay.
It's too painful or overwhelming to deal with directly.
So it's like our mind protecting us from difficult emotions.
Exactly. Repression.
Okay.
And that's a key concept here.
So those repressed thoughts and feelings don't just disappear.
They don't just disappear.
But how do we know they're even there?
Oh, they're there. And they influence our behavior.
Wait, so things that we're not even aware of can be driving our actions?
They can.
That's kind of unsettling.
It is. It is. The unconscious doesn't play by the rules. It's all instinct, emotion, primal urges.
So if we can't always access these unconscious thoughts, how do we know? How do we know they're there? What are some signs?
So have you ever just felt this sudden wave of anxiety in a situation that logically shouldn't cause you to feel anxious?
I think so, yeah.
Or maybe an unexpectedly strong reaction?
A strong reaction.
To someone or something? It seemed out of proportion to the situation.
Yeah. Now that you mention it.
Yeah. Those could be clues. Your unconscious mind is reacting to something deeper, something linked to a past experience or unresolved issue.
Interesting.
It's like those currents.
Yeah.
Beneath the surface of the iceberg. They're influencing the way it moves, even if we can't see them.
Okay, so the unconscious mind is this powerful force behind the scenes, but what about the preconscious mind? The article describes it as this mental waiting room.
Mental waiting room.
Which I find very relatable. I don't know about you.
A perfect analogy, yeah. Perfect analogy. The preconscious.
Yeah.
It's where we store memories.
Memories.
And pieces of knowledge that aren't in our conscious awareness right now.
Right now.
But we can easily retrieve them.
Retrieve them when we need them.
Right, when we need them.
Exactly.
So it's not about repressed memories.
No. It's more like readily accessible information.
Okay.
That's just not top of mind.
So give me an example.
Your phone number.
My phone number.
Yeah. You don't think about it all the time, right?
Right.
But you can recall it instantly.
When I need to.
When you need it.
What about like when you're trying to remember a name?
A name.
Yeah, and it just popped in your head.
Pops right in.
Hours later. Hours later.
Yeah. Like it was waiting for its cue.
It's waiting in the wings. Your preconscious mind at work.
Okay, so the preconscious mind is not just a mental storehouse, right?
Right.
It's this powerful influencer.
Absolutely.
In our daily lives.
Think about a time you had a gut feeling about something.
Well, that's feeling, yeah.
That intuition. That sense of knowing.
Knowing.
Without a logical explanation.
It makes sense.
Often comes from our preconscious mind.
Ah. So getting to know our preconscious mind can help us make better decisions.
It can. It really can.
Okay. So we've got these hidden depths of the unconscious. We've got the accessible knowledge of the preconscious.
Preconscious.
But what about the part of our minds that's front and center?
Front and center.
Right here, right now. Let's talk about the conscious mind.
The conscious mind. This is the level of awareness we're most familiar with. It's our awareness of our surroundings, our thoughts, our feelings in this moment.
So as we're talking right now, this is our conscious mind.
Yeah. It's processing the information.
Processing. Trying to make sense of it.
Making connections.
Hopefully finding it interesting.
Hopefully.
Okay. So it's like the CEO of our mental operations.
I like that analogy. It's a great analogy.
Making decisions. Keeping things running smoothly.
Yeah. The conscious mind is often associated with our sense of self, our ability to think rationally, self-control.
So it's the part of us that keeps us from doing things we might regret.
At least most of the time.
Most of the time.
It's the part that can step back, assess the situation, make choices.
But even with this executive function, our conscious mind is still influenced by those deeper levels.
It is.
Okay, so we've got these 3 distinct levels. The unconscious, the preconscious, and the conscious. They're not just separate compartments, though, are they?
Not separate.
They must interact somehow.
I did too. That's where things get fascinating.
Well, I'm all ears. Let's dive into those interactions.
Right, let's dive in. Think about that iceberg analogy.
The iceberg, yeah.
It's not just the tip and the depths.
Right.
It's the currents that flow between them.
Okay, I like that.
Our conscious thoughts and actions are influenced by those deeper unconscious currents.
So even if we're not aware of it, those deeper levels are constantly shaping our thoughts and feelings and actions. Do you have any examples of how these interactions might play out?
Yeah. Like decision-making.
Decision-making.
Imagine you're trying to decide whether to take a new job.
A new job, okay.
On a conscious level, you might weigh the pros and cons like salary, benefits, location, and all that.
Right.
But then you have this nagging feeling in your gut.
That gut feeling, it's telling me to be cautious.
Or that subtle surge of excitement.
Excitement, yeah. Like I can already see myself in the new role.
That's it. Those feelings could be coming from your preconscious or unconscious mind.
Okay, so maybe a past experience is influencing my feelings?
It could be.
Or maybe some deeper desire for growth?
Exactly. Those gut feelings and intuitive nudges are often messages from deeper levels of awareness, offering insights that might not be apparent to our conscious minds.
So it's not about ignoring our logical, rational minds. It's about balancing that with those subtler signals.
Right, yes.
Wise decisions involve a blend of logic and intuition and emotional awareness.
It makes me wonder, do different cultures view these levels of awareness in similar ways?
Ah, that's a great question. That gets to the heart of how culture shapes our understanding of ourselves. So the concept of conscious, preconscious, and unconscious is largely rooted in Western psychology.
Okay.
But many cultures have their own frameworks for understanding the mind.
Give me an example.
Some indigenous cultures.
Indigenous culture.
They consider dreams to be a direct line to the unconscious mind,
Dreams.
a way to communicate with ancestors or receive guidance from spirits.
Interesting. So while a Western psychologist might interpret a dream through symbolism and repressed emotions, someone from an indigenous culture might see it as a message from the spirit world.
Exactly. Neither perspective is right or wrong, just different ways of understanding the same phenomena. It really highlights how our backgrounds influence how we interpret our experiences.
Our backgrounds. It encourages us to be more open-minded.
To be open-minded.
About different perspectives.
This is fascinating. I have to admit, it's a bit overwhelming. Knowing about these levels is one thing, but actually navigating them in our lives feels like a whole other challenge. Are there any tools or techniques we can use?
There are. Many practices can help. We've already touched on mindfulness and journaling.
Right.
But let's explore another powerful tool, paying attention to our dreams.
Dreams. I've always felt like there's something mysterious about dreams.
There is. They can be incredible sources of insight.
So how can we tap into that dream wisdom? Do we have to be dream interpreters?
Not an expert, but start keeping a dream journal.
A dream journal. Okay.
Keep a notebook by your bed, and as soon as you wake up, jot down details.
So even if it's just snippets of images or feelings?
Write it down.
Okay.
It helps bring those fragments into your conscious awareness.
So we're creating a map of our dream landscape.
Yes. And what about interpretation?
Yeah, how do we decode those symbolic messages?
Well, a great place to start is to notice the recurring themes, emotions, and symbols.
Themes and symbols, okay.
Are there certain people who show up in your dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Specific locations or situations?
I'll have to think about it.
What emotions stand out?
So it's not just about the literal content, it's the underlying feeling.
Yes. Dream interpretation is personal.
Personal, okay.
What a certain symbol represents for you might be different for someone else. Connect with your own intuitive understanding.
I like that approach.
It's like having a conversation with your subconscious.
So we're engaging with the unconscious mind through dreams.
That engagement can be empowering.
Empowering.
It allows us to start recognizing patterns that might be holding us back.
I see how this connects to personal growth. It's not just understanding our minds, it's using that understanding to create a more meaningful life.
That's right. That's where the magic happens.
When we integrate these levels of awareness
Into our daily lives.
to make conscious choices.
Connect with ourselves.
This has been so enlightening. I'm sure our listeners are feeling inspired.
I hope so. And this journey is ongoing.
It is.
It's about exploring, experimenting.
This has been a great conversation. But we need to come up for air eventually. But don't worry, we'll be back to dive even deeper into the practical applications of working with our 3 levels of awareness.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the 3 levels of awareness.
The 3 levels.
We've explored the unconscious,
The unconscious.
the preconscious,
Yeah.
and the conscious mind.
But now let's talk about how we can use this
Use
to create positive change in our lives.
Okay, what can we do with this knowledge?
That's the question.
How can understanding these levels help us make better decisions?
We often think of decision-making as this purely rational process.
Rational, yeah.
We weigh the pros and cons,
Mm-hmm.
but as we've discussed, there's a lot happening beneath the surface.
Right.
Those unconscious
And
beliefs.
They can really throw a wrench in the works.
Yeah. We might think we're being logical, but deep down, there's fear or insecurity driving the choice.
That's where self-awareness comes in.
Self-awareness.
By understanding how our unconscious mind might be influencing us.
So it's about recognizing those patterns and choosing to act in ways that align with our values.
Yes. And there are techniques that can help.
Techniques.
One powerful tool is cognitive reframing.
Cognitive reframing. I've heard that term. What does it mean exactly?
It's about challenging and changing our negative thought patterns.
Negative thought patterns.
Let's say you have a recurring thought like, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough. Yeah.
It pops up whenever you face a new opportunity.
Every time.
With cognitive reframing, you would examine that thought. Is it really true? What evidence supports it?
So we're not just accepting those negative thoughts.
No.
We're actively questioning them.
Questioning them.
Choosing to focus on more positive beliefs.
It's like rewriting the script.
Rewriting the script. I like that.
Replacing those limiting beliefs with affirmations that empower us.
But is it really that easy to change our thoughts?
It's not always easy. Our brains are adaptable.
Adaptable.
With effort, we can rewire those neural pathways.
So it's not about suppressing negative thoughts.
It's about choosing to focus on different ones.
More empowering thoughts.
It's like building a muscle. The more we exercise it, the stronger it gets.
So cognitive reframing requires a lot of conscious effort.
It does.
Are there ways to work with our unconscious mind?
There are.
Rather than trying to control it.
Our unconscious minds are powerful. One approach I find fascinating is visualization.
Visualization, like picturing ourselves achieving our goals.
Exactly. The unconscious mind doesn't always distinguish between real and imagined.
Real.
When we visualize ourselves succeeding.
So we're planting seeds in our unconscious minds.
Seeds of success.
That reminds me of affirmations.
Affirmations are powerful.
Repeating positive statements.
They work on the unconscious level.
Even if we don't fully believe those affirmations at first.
It's about creating new neural pathways.
This makes me realize we have more control over our minds than we think.
We do.
It's not about being perfect.
It's about awareness.
Choosing to focus on the thoughts that serve us.
Becoming the architects of our own minds.
This has been such a fascinating journey.
A journey.
We've gone from feeling like our minds are these mysterious forces to realizing we have the power to work with them.
We do.
To create positive change.
Positive change.
And this is just the beginning.
The beginning.
The more we learn about the 3 levels of awareness,
the more skilled we become.
What a journey this has been. We've explored the depths.
The depths.
Now it's up to each of us to continue the exploration.
Continue exploring.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the human mind. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing the incredible power within you.